seamless transition, just like we always do. Welcome everyone to Grim After Dark. My name is John, and this is your weekly Warhammer rundown where we hit the high points of the last week in the community, talk to the best players and content creators from around the world, such as this week. As LVO month rolls on with the Glacial Geek Philip Hall back again to share his expectations for the Las Vegas Open as he takes Sisters of Battle to Frontline's premier tabletop event. Man, I can't talk today. This is going to be a great show. I'm excited, Danny. But before we get to our guest, we have a couple of things to round up, including my co-host today, who needs some introduction. He is the terror of the mid-tables and a fierce protector of his right to bear a monolith in a competitive setting. It's Danny McDivett. Hi. Thank you. It is nice to see you as well. Danny, LVO list submission is due today. And if you haven't submitted your list, go do it now. Unless, of course, you're not listening to the live show, in which case it's already too late. Have a fun yellow card. But for those of you catching this live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, Danny and I will take a pause right now. So you can go to BCP right now and get your list submitted. And in honor of our producer, Danny, do you want a Canada Dry ginger ale?
Oh, yes, please.
Oh.
Wonderful. There you go.
Oh, man. Thanks, John.
No problem. You guys aren't going to miss anything. You got like a minute to go do this.
This is like a moment of silence for army lists right here.
Yeah. You know, Danny, I was going to make a joke about how this is awful, but it's not bad. It's pretty good.
So
it's a little dry.
You guys got one of those for me?
No.
Oh yeah. Yeah, let's see. Let's see.
You don't even have a throat. Do you even have a tongue?
There we go.
You should have picked something that wasn't a green can.
Oh,
fantastic.
Yeah. School start again for you, Danny?
Yeah, John, it sure did. Did it start for you?
Yeah. Yep. Full load.
Oh.
Yep.
That's my favorite kind.
That is.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's probably good enough. Cool. Love it. Well, thanks, guys. Good job uploading your list.
You're welcome for helping you to avoid get yellow cards.
Yeah, for sure. You should get your yellow cards by just being a jerk, like normal people, and not for late list submission. Yeah. Danny, Chapter Approved is coming, and we here at Grim After Dark are incredibly excited about it. With the leaked white dwarf showing the faction-specific secondaries are coming in this book, giving Chaos players a little sliver of hope before they realize that they won't get a book for 6 months plus now. Danny, thoughts on the faction-specific secondaries, and sort of what are you hoping for from the new Chapter Approved?
Well, Chaos Space Marine's got a good one. And then, so what I'm hoping for in the new Chapter Approved, man, okay, so there's so many things. I'm excited. It'd be cool if Centurions were better, or like Necron's got some point drops. Like, I'd be pretty excited about all of those things. And I'm pretty stoked for some new missions. Like, there's so many cool ideas that they could implement. I think that they could really like make some of the missions like super unique and really kind of make people take more balanced armies by giving some penalties to like common abilities that people like utilize. So we'll see how that pans out. And then also I would also like to see maybe some restrictions on like some factions that people could bring. That'd be pretty cool. So I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. That's my wish list. We'll see how many of those points come true.
I just want to see Death Guard go down in points because right now they're too expensive for what they do. So please. Well, we're
my
hoping.
dream is that they go up in points, especially on their most important units.
Dang it. Well, that's only Death Drought. It's fine. Anyway, Danny, 3D printing is here. I don't know if you've heard about this. You can print out models now and things like that. And this is now the 3023rd time that GW will be put out of business.
Oh.
Yeah. So as you can see from this print here, someone said, I found the Stinky Wizard file for free. In my opinion, looks way better than GW one, which I really enjoy that. I can finally speed paint my army. As with that model, I won't have to worry about any of the pesky details that GW usually puts in their model.
Yeah, and if you have a phobia of holes, you won't with this model.
I'm sorry, what? No.
You
I
know,
know we
like
told Kicker
phobia.
last week it's like a
Are you familiar with that?
PG-13 podcast. What is
Yeah.
it? What's the actual name for that?
I don't know. I think it's like tryptophobia or something. I don't know. I think that's the term for that.
Nicolas Cage's finest movie.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Holes?
People,
The movie
no,
Holes with
tryptophobia.
Shia LaBeouf.
No, yeah, with the still fully adult Nicolas Cage with child Shia LaBeouf in Disney's Holes is definitely something we're getting there.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
Warhammer. People are calming down on the Hammerhead's destructive power, though, but the meme train keeps on coming. This is my favorite one here. Tell players to their opponent before firing a Hammerhead, what's the most you ever lost in a coin toss? Of course, with people realizing,
Well,
yes, it's
wait,
an oop. Yeah,
but don't I get to reflip the coin?
that was the director's cut of No Country for
Oh,
Old
okay. Sorry. Oh, yeah.
um, but yeah, Tao still look to be VS4 from what we're seeing coming out. What are your thoughts on the old Hammerhead? And just as a reminder, this exists.
Sorry. Are you asking me
Oh yeah,
what I think about the old Hammerhead or what I think about the new
no,
Hammerhead rules?
no, okay.
This is a
It's
little
kind of more the
confusing.
colloquial, the old Hammerhead.
Oh, okay.
Like
I
the
mean, it's an
southern
old
version
jet,
of old.
so that works, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm excited about it. I think it'll be fine. Look, guys, it's one shot. Like, just bring more than three things. You'll be fine.
yeah, that's fair. Unless, of course, they take this, which is another kick from the famed Tau range, which, if things were to be believed, is very cost effective. And you only need to worry
I
about a
really,
storm surge.
I
You only
really
need to
like
worry
it.
about the Yeah, you only need to worry about the storm surge though if you have large armored units or troops.
Yeah. Or hey, John, do you remember that one time we played in a tournament in seventh edition? My Storm Surge did stomps all over your Stone Crusher Brood Carnifexes. Mm. Don't you remember like how good those rules were? These are much better than that. I think probably.
Drink my green can of Canada Dry.
Your invisible soda, great.
My invincible soda. Just get like look right in my face, like woo.
Oh, it was so
Hey,
spook.
power levels have all been screwed up for between the lore and the game for a while now, right?
I guess.
Sure. Nothing illustrates that better than this. This was a cool message I saw here. Demon
Oh,
Sword Dragnian. End of Empires and Echo of the First Murder. Mostly wounds on a 2 or a 3. Thunderstrike Gauntlet. Giant Power Fist crackling with a barely contained nimbus of energy. Mostly wounds on a 2 or a 3. Jeff from Mineshaft 74B with a blackened dagger. Automatically wounds. Danny, what's your take on this?
so when you said that power levels weren't like the same as fluff, I thought you literally meant power level.
In my defense, it was terrible writing and very
Okay,
confusing.
fair enough.
My application's in the mail GW rules team. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, look, the Imperium doesn't make that stuff to hurt people. They make it to hurt rocks. And rocks are a lot harder than people. So the logic works for me.
Yeah, that's perfect. That totally balances out the narrative fluff part in my head with its power on the actual table.
John, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Um, LVO is coming up. Big surprise.
What?
BCP is ready. BCP is ready, but old memories die hard with this message from the FLG community. Someone said, I have an ever-pressing concern that what happened at the 2019-2020 LVO will happen again when BCP crashed and we had to wait 3.5 hours for a third round. What assurances do we have that it won't happen again? Have you done a system test to make sure the server won't fail? This by itself, great comment, by the way. Love it. And then my favorite part about this was the comment below that said, they said on one of the FLGN shows this week that they do a stress test with it, so it shouldn't be an issue. It's like, we were that show. Kicker said that on our show.
Oh, no.
So really,
Oh my
what
God,
I'm hoping
guys.
for.
Guys,
Yo.
has somebody checked on BCP?
Did it handle the list submissions okay?
Guys, I gotta check.
How did we not think of this? I mean,
I don't know.
Guys, my
Didn't we know
army
that
list
this
sucks
was
in BCP. What the hell? But I'm sure Serval is off to fix that. to retie the string and
Yeah.
feed the kittens. Yeah, so one of these days we're going to graduate past that show or one of the shows, and we'll have our own name one day.
Hey, and you know what? If it does crash, guys, look, we'll get like a 6-hour break for dinner. It'll be great.
What I learned from that crash is there's a disproportionate amount of our community who are actual literal software engineers. So when you're sitting trying to figure out when the next round is, you have at least 7 or 8 people around you who are talking in a language that I don't understand. AWS and Amazon and data from here and here. You're like, yeah, sure. So if it does happen, I'll be sure to be very uncomfortable in a room full of people far smarter than I. And this usually is the thing.
Yeah. Same.
Perfect. Love it.
Good joke, John.
Good. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. I
welcome.
always can tell when it's a good joke when you don't laugh and then don't talk or react right afterwards. It makes me
Well,
feel just,
that's what I'm here for, baby.
it is. I really wish it wasn't, but that's where we're at. It's okay. As we said last week, Reese wanted us to let you know. In fact, do we want to just do the intro video now? Because this is like a whole LVO segment, so we can kind of just do this here. Let's go. It's Run LVO.
Back to this. No, wrong
Road
one.
to the LVO. Road to the LVO.
You did it.
You did it so hard in that video that it shocked Phil out of his containment cell. And I think my big request here is Tricky Dick, who made that amazing video. Next month, just maybe copy paste the Cherokee Open over that there. Don't change anything. Just kind of write it over there in Word or MS Paint so we can keep on using that amazing video. Guys, as we said last week, Reese wanted us to let you know that masks are required indoors in Vegas and that they will be enforced, with the only exceptions being when you're eating or drinking, of course. Also, for foreign visitors, they can get any mandatory testing they need done at places to be found at www.umcsn.com/travel or many local pharmacies. And we can't wait to see everyone there. This year, the Las Vegas Open will be bigger and better than ever. The full event will be getting live streamed on the Frontline Gaming Network with fine folks like Adam Camilleri from the Thursday Show, Magic Cat Mark from Chapter Tactics, Seth and Kicker from Signals from the Frontline, and of course, myself and Danny will all be there and helping to make the best damn Steam you can imagine. And no, I will keep saying Steam because that is what my note said that was sent to me, and I will respect that.
Oh,
there's going to be a bunch of awesome stuff planned.
yeah. Dude, John, I'm so excited. It's going to be such a good time.
So excited. Yeah. I can't wait to see Val's Steam. that will keep me very excited.
Do you think it'll be cold in there so the steam is like extra visible? Like it'll have
well,
better
they have
resolution?
to. We've advertised the Steam for like 3 weeks now. So like I feel it's like a legal thing if we don't provide Steam. Oh, okay. Perfect. So Danny, that's enough terrible jokes for 1 week. Let's go for a slightly
thank
better
God.
joke.
Are we done?
No, we got like another 40 minutes to go.
Sorry. No, yeah. No, I'm excited.
No.
Dude, we have such a good guest tonight. Like, I'm always happy to introduce this gentleman. So, I don't know everybody like in person, like, but I know Phil. Like, I've been on his channel. He's a great guy, like one of the nicest people in 40K. His laugh is infectious, and his woos are the stuff of legends, to be honest. They're not a total ripoff of Ric Flair. They're his own thing. Mm-hmm. So tonight we are happy to welcome Philip J. Hall onto the pod, onto the stream. Phil,
that is the best intro I think I've ever had. Thank you very much for having me.
And as much as
I was gonna say, as much as I appreciate you enjoying my laugh, maybe we don't use the word infectious involving me until maybe things have cleared up a little bit. We're gonna go. We're just gonna it's just like no, we're just gonna
Well,
keep
like
that one. Nothing about
contagious?
Phil is
Is that
infectious,
better?
people. It's okay. He can go to any kind of LVO he wants.
luckily, your mask kind of keeps people safe from your
It's
laugh.
true. It just
So
keeps.
yeah,
They see it from a mile away, and they don't want to get anywhere near me, and therefore
it's
keeps them
very
safe from
very effective at reducing
whatever
humor.
laugh, COVID, whatever might be infectious about me at the time. It keeps them safe. So
Today I was
Which-
quite safe from Phil's laugh because of his
Great. Now I have to create an event on Facebook for that because that's too good.
I don't think you can create fake disasters, John.
I don't
Look.
think Facebook has a button for that where it's like,
Look,
do
I
you want to
have
invite them to your
memberships.
swap meet, or do you want to create a fake disaster that you can mark
Yeah.
yourself safe from?
I
Despite
have memberships to
numerous
several
assurances.
YouTube channels. I have
Yeah.
memberships to several YouTube channels that tell me
Yeah.
that you can fake several disasters.
I'm glad we went
So
there.
one, rude. Two, wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy, well, this is starting off great. Phil, how are you doing? I think
Doing well. I'm alive, and
Cool.
that's I'll
Interview
take it.
done.
Yeah, done. Anyway, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Phil just wanted to come on, let everyone know he's not contagious, and just peace out, leave.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, I
Fantastic.
got all the important stuff out the way, right? That's called showbiz, baby. Don't bury the
Available on
lead.
the
Get it done fast and quick.
T-shirt
Get
available
out
on the
there
Glacial
before it's
Geek
too late.
merch store.
Yeah.
like within an hour.
He's even willing to take a test to prove that he's
It's
he's
true.
not
Maybe,
contagious.
maybe I do need to make a T-shirt that just says "Only my laugh is infectious."
Oh,
Oh,
fantastic.
oh, I copyrighted that before we started recording
Dang
when
it.
we made that joke before.
You are
Oh.
so quick.
He even changed his
Licensing
Twitter
to it.
handle, Phil.
The glacial
Oh.
freak is here for you. But anyway,
Is that my Grim After Dark
Oh my
nickname? The Glacial
the
Freak.
glacial freak.
Yeah.
That's Phil After
It's only
Dark.
one
Yeah.
letter difference. That's real.
How to
Wait.
ruin a YouTube channel with just changing one letter. Go.
Am I taking crazy pills? You're changing the G to an FR.
That's
That
true.
can
yeah,
Well,
too.
yeah,
I guess
you're
then you
right. All
guys
right,
have
hey,
to
look.
become knob rules, right? Is that how it works?
No,
I'm
Yeah.
the Glacial Freak. You guys get knob rules.
no, we were
Perfect.
Mog.
Mog rules.
Mog
Oh, okay.
rules.
Yeah.
That's
That's
what
been
we were
established.
credited as once, which
Thanks,
is
Scott,
established
yeah.
lore now.
There you go.
Which was quite fantastic. Hey Phil, hey, you're going to Vegas. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will be there. I don't know.
Now, of
We'll
course,
see.
Your YouTube channel, like you've built it from the ground up here. You've been doing like just Dark Angels battle reports, kind of getting just some great kind of consistent content with just Dark Angels, but then to expand it a little bit, you had a Gene Stealer cult. So now you're kind of
Yeah.
frequently going between these two armies you're super strong with.
Yeah.
What's your plan for LVO?
Completely throwing all of that out of the window and just starting afresh and taking an entire army that I've played approximately once at this point, and we'll see. We'll see how we'll see where it goes from there. So yeah, I had the bright idea. Army Painter talked to me, and they were like, we're going to be coming out with this new line of paints and the speed paints, and they were like, would you have any ideas for what you want to do with it? And I was like, yeah, I think it'd be cool to show painting it like a whole new army and see what I can do it on a quick time schedule. See if I could build and paint an entire army. And it was great. It was going to be the perfect content. No dead air. It was just going to be awesome. And I knew that if
You're like, wait, you'll make up a month worth of stuff for me to make content about, and I don't have to think. Yeah, sure.
great.
Sign me up.
I'm totally down for that. That sounds great. But then, of course, that month came when it became time for me to actually do it, and I suddenly realized, oh, that's a whole lot of models to build and paint. So so I've been starting that process. The first couple videos in the series are up there, showing them and showing what I've been doing, and it should be good. I literally have a callus on my thumb from the building process, but you know what? I will have an army come when I get to Las Vegas, supposedly.
Phil, is
Yeah.
that your first callus?
I'm gonna say it's my first. I'm gonna say it's my first wargaming induced callus.
I
Let's go
see.
with that.
Okay.
Let's go with that. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. We
Was
want to
there a
stay
part of you that
PG-13.
was like, yeah, I'll paint a whole new army. Like I'll do like a small elite force. We'll get some custodians on the go and like, oh well, we haven't got the speed paint metallics yet. No,
Yeah,
we can't quite do that yet.
I mean, I did think about that. I was like, it would be easy just to do that, or just do, like just a whole bunch of, maybe another knight army. I could just do that. But no, I decided I was going to do an infantry heavy army. And then I made a list that was like extra infantry heavy. Who needs exorcists when you could just take 1,000 Repentia?
You need exorcist.
I know. I do need an exorcist.
Who
but,
doesn't love to paint skin, Phil?
I
mean,
know.
come on.
That was another thing where I was like, "Ooh, man, why am I doing this?" And then I even left some of the helmets off, so I'm just gonna do like unhelmeted heads on some of these sisters because I'm a masochist apparently. But
Yeah.
it'll get done.
Yep.
It'll get done. All the models at this point are built. All of the models except for 2 vehicles are primed because the vehicles are going to be doing with an airbrush, which of course this whole process would be a lot easier if I just use techniques that I already know. But no, I decided I'm going to use new materials with the speed paint. So I'm going to use a new process with the airbrush because I haven't done airbrushing literally since I was in Alaska.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a long
That's
time.
a really
It's
long
been a while.
time ago. Yeah.
And back then I only used it to basically base coat models. So I would just put one layer of coat on there and like, now it's time for a paintbrush. And now I'm going to try to teach myself how to actually make something look good with an airbrush in, like a week and a half. So
From what I can
fun.
tell, looking at airbrush tanks, as I often do on the internet,
Yeah.
you basically just throw a bunch of color down. I go a little lighter in the middle, like in a weird, unnatural stripe.
It's true.
And that's how you airbrush from what I can see.
And the beauty of the new Army Painter air paints is that they come in a triad color. So I don't even have to think about the colors. I just go, I'm going to go with blue. And then I've got 3 colors that I just got to put them in. And I just put them in the right order and hopefully make it work. So
I
that's
do
the
want
whole
to point
idea.
out.
I'm gonna try to
I do want to point out that Phil is being sponsored by Army Painter to do this speed test here. He will, in fact, be paid $3.19 every time he mentions the word speed paint in this podcast. So
my next video in the series is just me sitting there for an hour and a half saying speed paint. So
editor Tyler, for our recorded version of this, which is edited, if you could put a timer or a counter up here,
yeah, perfect.
Just follows along, so that way Phil knows what to invoice. That would be super handy.
Yeah, that would make it really easy for him.
Yeah.
Sooner up, guys, but I am looking at the Army Painter website right now, and I thought, Phil, could you name some of the listed features of speed paint?
So their main attraction is that they are a one coat and done process. So it's even faster than their usual prime, dip, and done method. Now you just have one coat of this of the speed paint and you're good to go. It brings in the low lights, it brings in your midtones, and it brings in your highlights, all with one stroke of the brush.
Yep. Now, Phil, I don't mean to interrupt here, but
I got no problem with that. I do like the paints. I've used them a bit now, and it's been nice. So,
I just want
to say here, the reason I did that was that's how you shield, guys. All right,
exactly.
I don't understand. We've been doing this for months, and that's how you shield. And
it's true.
I just do what he does, okay?
I was gonna say John can't even get his words straight when he's trying to shill.
You won't even let me use promo code Falcon.
Sorry.
On this show,
Also,
Sir Val.
Val, I zone in and out all the time. What did you just talk about? To be honest, I wasn't really paying attention.
What I think is really also
speed paints. That's all you need to know.
What's also super important to know is that for every time that speed paints is mentioned on this show, Val gets a kickback of $1.20. Wonderful.
Oh, man.
So you are doing Sisters of Battle, brand new army for you.
Yes.
You've noticed I can empathize with this brand new army, not a lot of practice. Kind of how do you kind of get those reps in almost virtually or without having those games in place? Like, what are you doing to make sure that your opponents at LVO are going to have that fun Glacial Geek experience and not that fun? Hold on a second. Oh no, you're right. It is 2 attacks.
Yeah. I mean, so as someone who does a lot of different content with a bunch of different armies on battle reports, you learn pretty quick how to utilize an army that you're not familiar with, like the back of your hand. Like if I was playing my Dark Angels, I know them back and forth. I know them right off the bat, and I go with it. What you learn is you need to make sure that when you go into it, those stratagem cards are a godsend. They are there. You have the ones that you're going to be utilizing up front there, and you don't catch yourself up on things that you're like, oh, I could have sworn that this is somewhere in there. It's like if it's not coming to you quick enough, you just move on and you accept it. You know what I mean? My expectations in going to this LVO is not to come out as the number one champion of LVO. It's to come out with hopefully at least a victory and not just go completely 0-6, because that would be painful. But the idea is just understand kind of what it is, what's in your army, what you want it to do, and the things that are going to help you get to do it. And then you go from there and just accept that it may not be the perfect game these first couple times. It also helps that I've played, a metric butt ton of 9th edition games. So I know the mechanics of the game itself like the back of my hand. Yeah, that's what you probably should have played a game or two of 9th edition. John, that was your first
crush us if he plays. Like I've played 9th edition barely at all.
Oh God, I don't know who I have to pay. Maybe Val can help me with this. Who I need to pay to get one of you guys in the first round, so I can get my first win off the bat. That'd be good.
The answer is always Val for that. When you ask Val, who do you have to pay to do this? The answer is always Val.
It's true.
Results might vary. The answer is always the same.
More than happy to take the money.
$5? I don't know.
Yeah, but he only accepts payment in loonies, so it's
Oh, yeah,
toonies are worth more.
Toonies, that's right, toonies. I heard they were also thinking about the throonies for a while, right? Weren't they? That's
we aren't animals. A throonie. The hell is that? And you'd think that there's 2 loons on a toonie, but no, it's a polar bear. Anyway, I'll let you guys go.
God, what a confusing
place.
place.
I guess at that point it would be Pooty, and that just nobody wants that.
Why did the
Well, I would argue that a large percentage of the population likes Poonies. But hey, who knows? I don't know. Yeah. I'm just a guy over here.
Why did the polar bear break me? Like the rest didn't even make sense. Anyway,
I mean, out of us, you're the one that's now living closest to a polar bear at this point, I think. Right?
That's fair.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
That's fair. So they're probably Idaho's many fine and exotic zoos have a polar bear.
That's true. They might have a but he's probably not going to get mauled by one. You're closer to one that will probably maul you. So
threaten me with a bear? What the hell?
Hey, look, if I know anything about polar bears, if you go into their cage, there's a good chance you'll get mauled. So
that's true.
Let's not count that out.
Yeah, I guess it just comes down to how dedicated you are to getting mauled. John has to go travel further. You just have to travel harder.
Guys, are we talking about polar bears or Warhammer tournaments at this point? Because all points still exactly.
Polar bears.
I'll get mauled harder, but I have thank you. Yeah. Man, thank God you killed that segue just like straight out of his head. It'd be real awful.
Man, our producer is just the best, you guys. Yeah.
Oh, we're going to change the background behind me next week, so it's just like a big old bus, so I can continually get further and further under it here.
Yeah, and then you just have to change him to that train, like from that meme where it just comes out of nowhere and destroys the bus.
Yeah, so just make it short.
Creepy Thomas the Tank. But, so you said you made your Sisters of Battle list.
Yes.
Again, just playing against like a butt ton of sisters and kind of 9th edition in general. What were some things you were looking for from that army and from that list? Because obviously, content reviewer as well. You've gone through that book kind of on a low level overview.
Yeah.
What were you looking for your army to do?
I talked to people who have played Sisters. I also got my butt handed to me by Sisters at the Orlando GT. So when I went down there with my Dark Angels, I was first after day 1 at the Orlando GT, and I flew too close to the sun. And John Lennon was very kind enough to just spank me and send me back down to the mid tables where I belong. Yeah. He just came in and he was just like, "This is what I'm going to do," and I'm make it, and I like after the first round, he was like, okay, I didn't expect you to do that. And I was like, oh, am I making him think? And he's like, nah, I just like raffle stomped you, but you did that. And I was like, yeah, okay.
No,
Cool, thanks.
you gave me the game.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a lot harder to win this game, but no, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I just want it
Let
to
me
be like
clap
that
them
scene
cheeks.
from
Yeah.
I wanted that scene from Endgame where like it's Thanos versus Scarlet Witch. And like Phil's now 3-1. He's like, you took everything from me, and just John Lennon was like, I don't even know who you are.
Exactly. Exactly. So, but he was. I mean, I had a great time. He's a really great opponent, even when he's tromping you. He's a good guy, and it was a good opponent, good game. But the thing that hit me, other than his repentia, were the fact that like the army looked cool on the table, and I really appreciate like visual aesthetics on the table mean a lot to me as a YouTuber, because that's what I'm attracted to. That's what I like in this game, because I mean, there's it's what I do. It's what I like. I mean, no one turns to the Glacial Geek for his like, for his hot tips on how to win a GT, because I haven't done that yet. So
that really surprises me, because I thought you were all about the power.
That's true. I am known as like the power gamer out there. Yeah. So, I woo to cover the sobs of my opponents as I destroy them mercilessly.
I've seen it.
Yeah, you've been on the end of that one.
I have been.
An ironic woo.
It's an ironic woo, exactly.
Woo.
Only I woo. No one else woos.
No, the geek woos for thee.
Yeah, the geek woos for thee. For whom the geek woos? The geek woos for thee. Yeah, it's so like I saw it, I was like, that looks cool, and I was like, I would love to have an army that looks like that. And now I'm going to, presumably, if I get this done in time for LVO. So, and I think I can.
How many models do you have to paint for LVO right now? We're 12 days out.
We're 12 days out. I had one Repentia squad and a Canoness pre-built and painted, because I had used them for Kill Team. I had
so you cheated on the challenge.
Yeah, cheated on the challenge. Right. Had one Sister Battle squad built and painted for the previously for Kill Team as well. But then I have to build 2.
Did you paint any models for this, Phil, or are you just getting your Kill Team?
We're getting there. I've got 2 more Sisters of Battle squads. I've got Celestine and her bodyguards. I've got Morven Vol. I have another squad of Repentia. I have 2 Rhinos, 2 Retributor squads, and 2 Dominion squads, and a 10 Sister Sacrosanct squad. So they're looking at like a good, like, probably 40 models, close to 40 models around that I've got to get done in the next week and a half. So it'll happen. I think, honestly, after figuring out the color scheme that I want to do and doing the test models for that, I think using those paints, I should be able to crack it out. And whether I will lose a lot of sleep or not is yet to be determined, but it'll be good content.
I just love the sales pitch that with just Army Painter speed paints and this fully painted army, you too can have a fully painted tournament ready army.
Do you have half an army painted? Then you too can paint an entire army by the time that LVO comes, sir.
In half the time it would take you to paint a brand new entire army.
That's my trick. What's my trick to half the time? Have it already painted.
Oh. Yeah, I'm in a like similar situation to you, Phil, where like I have like an entire brand new army that I put together and painted using non-sponsored Games Workshop
that
contrast
was your first
paints.
Mistake. That was
my first mistake was not reaching out. Obviously, we've seen through Sir Val's very good coachings, I'm not as good a shill as you.
It's true. You need to work on your shill game. So to be fair, this is like my first cooperative thing with a sponsor, so maybe my shill game is still growing. I'm not quite I don't have Skillshare as a sponsor of my videos yet, so we'll see.
How does it feel to sell out?
Well, I don't know. How's that Manscaped deal going for you guys?
Hey, we're not talking about that on here. I'd love to talk about promo code Falcon and how it can save you. But we're not here for that.
No, we're not here for that. No.
Also, real good. Thanks for asking. We're back to recording twice a month now. But yeah, well, like the point I was trying to make here, like similar thing, where like brand new army, completely painted from scratch, and kind of going there with very little to zero practice, sort of with it there. And sort of it's like a unique situation. What would be sort of your advice? Like you've filmed battle reports for years now.
Mhm.
There's going to be like a lot of new players. I feel this LVO.
Yes.
We were talking to Kicker about it last week. There's
Mhm.
a lot of people. This is going to be like their first event.
Yeah.
What's some advice you can give players who are playing those newer, less experienced players to kind of give that best fun time? Because you're known for sort of giving people a good time, and not
Yeah,
necessarily
Phil.
competitive, but yeah.
As what would you tell the newer players, the people who aren't very good, as
No, no,
like from
no,
your
no.
experience?
As the
What
king
would
of the losers, Phil.
Yeah, as,
What was your advice to
No.
me?
Look, man,
as
geez,
notoriously
it's like,
terrible player, Phil. Please tell us.
what would you tell the regular players about their games with the newer players? Thank you, Danny,
Sure.
for pointing out that my question was
Absolutely.
terrible.
I think what you need to do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say after Phil
My
was
fellow
talking about
hobbyists.
John Lennon.
My fellow hobbyists. I'm glad that you could come here today to hear me speak about the abilities that you should learn and go into this tournament with. Whatever level expertise that you might have, we are all fellow wargamers. We are all here underneath the one flag of wargaming to enjoy ourselves and have a good time and to destroy our enemies.
And I gotta say, Phil, just as to respect the podium and where it came from, for part 2 of that speech, that's going to be in the FLGN Patreon right there.
Okay, there we
So
go.
just
Fair
just
enough.
part 1 right there.
Yeah, the rest of the speech is is behind the paywall. So
Yeah,
Powerful
pay
stuff.
curtain.
yeah.
Practice that?
I mean, I think literally everyone at this tournament needs to have proper expectations for what they want out of this tournament. If every single player goes into this tournament expecting to win it, then you're going to have 90% of the field be miserable by the end of day one. That's just the reality of what it comes down to. If you go into this going,
Just in,
yeah,
Phil
this
thinks
just
only
in.
10% of the players are going to be 3-0 at the end of day 1. Danny, is this mathematically possible?
No, that's impossible. It's really sad. It's really sad that you would think that, Phil, and you would
A lot of
disparage
ties.
so many people.
No, is it literally like 12.5% is going to be undefeated? That's
No,
it,
it's
right?
3 games, isn't it? 25%.
No, because after game 1, 50%. After game 2, 25%. After game 3, 12.5%. So I was closer than you.
Look, Phil. You went over. So
Oh,
by
okay.
Price
I'm
is
sorry.
Right rules,
I'm sorry.
you're wrong.
Okay,
Like,
sorry.
We've established that that's the way that we round up on this show. I'm not going to argue with you.
87.5% of you will be miserable. You happy?
The important thing is, for the
Phil, this
title
is
of this
40K.
podcast,
I was never happy.
the important thing for the title of this podcast is Phil wants
Yeah.
12.5% of you to be miserable.
Yeah.
No,
'cause
87.5.
87.5% of you are going to be miserable by the end of the
He
day.
thinks winning is misery. He's like the
Oh,
guy
that's
from
right. That's right.
That makes
like the
more
guy from Kung Pao, where like we trained him wrong as a joke.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what it comes down to. Is like at the end of the tournament, one person will be undefeated. That's it. Literally, one person's going to be undefeated. And if you don't go into it with that expectation, no matter where you expect to finish, then you're not going to have an enjoyable tournament because it's
Phil,
going to be
I'm
miserable.
glad that you introduced me like that because I'd like to give a little pre-speech before my victory.
Okay. Okay. There we go.
Oh,
yeah, that
God.
sounds good. Danny,
We got
Victor.
to do things. We got to stall so Val can redo the podium again.
But yeah, I think go into it with a reasonable expectation and understand that, like, I think that most people get salty about games because of that expectation that they thought, well, if my opponent knew his rules better, I could have gotten 5 more points. And it's like, okay, you would have finished 352nd instead of 353rd. Like that's not going to be the end of it. Like if you lost LVO because of a player not knowing their rules, I have zero idea how that ever happened, because you're still beating that person round 1 and you're going to keep going and win the rest of your games. And the people that you're going to be playing against, if you are consistently winning and you are competing for the top spot, know their rules at this point. They've played more than one game. And if you're playing people that are struggling with their rules, it means it's either round 1 or you're also losing, and it doesn't matter if you don't finish all 5 turns. You know, I know it's like people bust out like the clocks and the mid tables, and it's like, what? Where are you from? What is this? Why do you hate fun? Like, why do you hate enjoying a game that you're here to you're here to play it? You're not winning anything already. Why do
Phil,
That is-
I just
that
like
is also
could I
new.
ask Danny? Could you please respond to why you, in particular, hate fun?
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Perfect. Yes. All right. So I'm going to dedicate this victory to comfort, to smooth, luxurious comfort, the wonderful scent of sandalwood and cinnamon, and the feeling of no chafing and freedom. Today I brought today, or in 2 weeks I'll be bringing a monolith to the Las Vegas Open, and I'll tell you what, I have no fear. The smooth sides of the monolith will deflect any attack, and I'm looking forward to facing my foes on the field of battle. But in essence, and in this essence, I would just like to. Okay, I'm done. All right.
Are you worried about getting nicked by that Tesla?
Phil, I would like to go revisit a point that you made here. So what you're telling our fans here and our audience is that it's okay for their opponents to cheat if they if they don't know their rules. It's cool if they're not winning for them to cheat.
What I'm saying is, don't even think about cheating, because you're not going to win LVO. It doesn't matter. Like, why cheat? Why cheat? Why freak out? Why worry if you're not gunning for the win? You know, this is a game, and you've paid a bunch of money to come down to Las Vegas to enjoy the company of a whole bunch of other nerds throwing dice and having fun. Because the only people that are going to win are people that you're not going to play after round one or two. So let them go have fun up at the top tables, and the rest of us can all enjoy the mid tables of just enjoying each other's company and playing some games and being nerds. You know, that's the end of what I also have to say about that.
And enjoy.
I just want to say
calls.
real quick. One, Danny, I'm very impressed that you remembered the ad script read, which said that the sound was sandalwood.
Flawless.
That goes above and beyond my expectations for types and off.
Well, yeah, obviously beyond your expectations, John. We all know
I've been studying
your ability to read ads.
I may be failing constitutional law, John, but you know what? I'm gonna pass that Manscaped script on
for sure.
Committed to memory.
Sure. It's my inability to read words I wrote very recently.
Brain cell allocation. You know, it's like constitutional law or the Manscaped ad read. You know, you got to prioritize.
One of them pays money right now. Yeah,
right. Yeah, one's costing me a lot of money, and one is bringing in the big bucks. We're talking. Well, you know, I don't want to get into the details. I don't want to make anybody feel self-conscious.
Okay.
I assume they're sending you your 37-cent checks and the giant ones that you get at like a motocross rally after you win,
buddy.
Are you getting giant checks?
That's the only way. That's the only way to get a big. That's the only way that I could get big money from sponsorships is if they literally send it if I steal a motocross check and write my name on it,
buddy. One, dozens of dollars, but two,
literally dozens.
Literally almost enough to start a checking account. Two. You said kind of like your speech behind your podium of rage, kind of the glacial freak podium of rage.
No, wait. Let's not confuse the two, please.
TM.
That's definitely got a paywall. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, OnlyFans usually does.
Yeah, that's the Glacial Geek OnlyFans page is where the Glacial Freak podium of rage happens.
Your wife has very kindly asked you to stop. But you were talking about the mid tables at kind of tournaments being kind of like the Shark Tank, and it's like the bizarrest thing because like the very low tables, like it's like super happy fun times with everyone. The very top tables, they all live in the same house, so everyone's congenial with each other. Like sort of the mid tables are like a great Shark Tank of kind of tryhards and upset people.
Oh my god.
It's only
change.
funny because it's true. It's
Yeah.
anyway.
So
who
what do you
is-
think makes those mid tables like just like the sharkiest, meanest place to be?
It boggles my mind. It
I know
boggles
why.
my mind. Oh, okay. Danny.
Well, I mean, I live there, right? So that's my
That's
my
true.
jam. As
There we
John
go.
eloquently introduced me tonight. But
And every
yeah,
night.
they're all tryhards. But the other
Yeah.
guys know they're good, and it doesn't really matter, right? But
Yeah.
the people in the mid tables who are trying to like elevate themselves to that level are trying really hard when they probably should maybe try a little less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what it
Have more
comes.
fun.
And I think that's what it comes down to is that at the end of the day, if you think that you lost the LVO because of a player not knowing their rules, I mean, you're wrong is what it comes down to. If you were competing for the top and you lost because of that, then you're wrong. That never happened. You know, you may have game may have been closer than it may have should have been or whatever, but at the end of the day, who cares if you went, you know, if you go 3-3 or you go 4-2 or you go, you know, 2-4, none of that matters at the end of the day. You know, I think what you need to do
Well,
is you need to go into this, have
It
fun,
matters to me.
try. Does it?
Yeah, no, well, look, I mean, I always go into this having a goal, right?
Yeah.
And I think like it's okay to have a goal of like, hey, I want to go positive, right? Like I
Yeah.
want to go 4-2, but like go 4-2 because you actually went 4-2, not because you like, you know, teched your opponent out of a victory or something like that. And if
Yeah.
you do lose because of that, like realize that your goal was to just have like a positive record,
Yeah.
not to win the entire event on your first try.
Yeah.
Right?
And I mean, and I think that's what it comes down to. I think the people like, you know, we kind of equate a loss as some kind of personal failing. And that's not the case. That's not the case. Every single,
Mhm.
you know, or I guess I should say the majority of these games that are going to be played over the course of the weekend will have a winner and a loser. And it doesn't mean that they were a personal failing because they lost. It's they lost the game. They either got outplayed
Right.
or they, you know, the dice didn't go their way or whatever it might be, or just the mission that you got paired up with benefited someone else. Like that's the
Mhm.
reality of what happened. It's not a personal failing because you lost. And it, you know, it's because this is what it's hard to understand that we go into LVO and you have it's almost as if you had like the New York Yankees and like the, you know, the Savannah one, you know, the Savannah like minor league baseball team
Polecats.
playing, like the Savannah, the Savannah Bananas. That's what their team is called.
Really?
They're playing
That's
in like,
not a realistic name.
it's seriously,
Really? You could go
their
any
top,
animal?
their top competitor are the Macon Bacon. So
Huh.
it's
It could
fun.
be like
It's fun
Savannah
down here.
Snakes.
I just,
No.
yeah,
They used
I
to be
just
the
think that
Sand
sounds like
Gnats,
something
but
the
now they're-
Glacial Freak would say.
That's
like,
true.
Savannah Banana.
I mean, exactly. If you're gonna go for, you got to go for alliteration. That's the best way to
It's
go
important.
when you name something. It's very important.
It
But
is.
it's like that's what you have in the LVO is you have the New York Yankees taking on the Savannah Bananas, and it's, you know, people don't understand. It's like, yeah, like, you know, if round one I get paired up against like Nick Nanavati, odds are I'm not going to win unless his dice go like ridiculously cold and mine go ridiculously hot and he gets hit by a meteor in the middle of our game. I'm not going to win. Like I need all three of those things to happen. And there's
Mhm.
still a chance he wins at the end of it.
Well, he is here to
No.
party. You
Yes.
can't deny
I mean,
that.
You could also ply him with alcohol, Phil. There's a lot
That's
of ways
true.
to beat Nick Nanavati. I think.
No,
fair.
no. I've seen that happen. It still didn't go Tanner's
Yeah,
way.
he'll still beat me. I'm
Tanner
sure.
won that game.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Find out exactly what the blood alcohol was at the end of that game.
I need
That's where
I
you
need
need
the
to go
drink
to.
list. Yeah. But I mean, like that's what people don't realize is that they think that everyone who goes into this tournament has an equal chance at winning, and that's not the case. And if you go into it with a realistic understanding of what your chances are at winning it, which is approximately 0, like go into it knowing that you're gonna lose some games and you're still gonna try to have fun and enjoy the company of the other fellow nerds that you're gonna have the chance to meet from all across the globe, you know. And that's what's wonderful about this event is not the fact that you could possibly win the biggest Warhammer tournament in the world. It's that you get to spend a weekend enjoying the company of like over 1,000 nerds all doing what you do from around the globe. And
Mhm.
that's the best thing that you can take out of it. Not a win, not an extra 5 points because your opponent knew their rules or didn't know their rules. At the end of the day, come out of it with an enjoyable experience and the fellowship of being a bunch of nerds together in like the least nerdy city in the entire world. That's what always, like, it was awesome. Like when you're walking around the strip and you just look around, you're like, I know why you're here. I know why you're here. I know why you're here. It's like you can spot the LVO nerds like from a mile away as they're like walking down with their pasty skin and, you know, and
Wow.
and it's like, you know, it's just
Wow.
the way it is.
This is it.
So
Well,
They
because
freak
they
think you're
finally
all
came,
pasty.
I was going to say, we finally came out of our, you know, our wargaming hovels where we've been slaving away at our armies and
Hovel?
list building. Yeah.
Hovel.
Well, I know for a
Believe
fact that John's currently like literally in a closet. So,
Sir, I'm in a
Whoa.
warehouse.
Don't dox John.
Sir, Sir,
Jesus.
excuse you. This is a beautifully designed warehouse set.
that's
And there's
true.
no way a tiny
He's
room in my home.
physically
Yeah.
there with
You
a
know-
monolith in the back there. And
Okay.
the
I could
giant
I
know
can
that-
push
I know-
my hand further than right here, but I'm going to choose not to.
You can't.
Yeah, fair enough. But you know what? You
That's
know
fair.
how I know that this is, I mean, I may be completely stricken from this show forever forward, but the reason that I know that's not a real warehouse is that giant tub of Nolan oil has not been tipped over and spilled, and you haven't put a picture of it up on Facebook. So, you know, that's how I know
We
it's
only
not real.
got-
I'm sorry.
We
I'm
only
sorry. I
got
just need to interrupt.
sodium.
Yeah,
Yep.
Phil, could you say that word again for me?
Which one?
The thing that the name of the
This
big
one.
container.
Oh,
What
the
is-
Nolan oil?
Nullen?
Nolan? What is it?
Like a nubbin, but for an ill.
Wait, why? What is it? What
Well,
is,
I would go with Nullen myself.
Nolan?
Nolan.
Oil?
Yeah.
Nolan?
It's a glottal tone if you're familiar with that.
Yeah,
It's based on a Germanic culture.
yeah. I
all
was
right?
gonna say that's only if I've been coveting the one ring for like thousands of years.
Now, also, I interrupted you because I did get to a place where I think we've got maybe a little bit of a rebranding exercise we could go through here.
Okay.
I'm just,
Cool.
you know,
Andy, we're
I've
getting
got.
fired.
Are we getting rid of the TVs?
Yeah, wait, am I getting their job? Is that what's happening?
Well, no, I mean, like we've been talking a lot about the Glacial Geek, and you know, maybe it's a tired franchise,
Wow.
and
Oh,
and I've just been,
that got
I
real
produced the show.
brutal.
That got real quick.
I mean, no, I produced the show, and I thought maybe you know you might like some pointers, and so I just whipped up a quick little logo here for.
Okay.
He is the creative director.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be the thumbnail for my OnlyFans page. That's for sure. That's
Wow.
I thought that might be, you know, that one's free. That one's free for you
thank
guys.
I
And
appreciate that.
I'm gonna get out of here again.
Yeah, there we go. Appreciate that.
Thanks,
Thank you
Val.
for joining us
Dude,
and
how-
bestowing the gifts.
How do
upon
we
us.
top? How do we top ball gag glacial freak Phil?
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna cancel my. I'm just gonna close down my my YouTube channel now because there's no better than that.
I mean,
at this point.
Phil, if you're looking to go full-time content creation,
Yeah, it's true. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the best way to make it possible. So
Guys, there's been some questions in chat here that we're going to touch on. This is a very roundabout show. It's about LVO for sure. But anyway,
yeah,
someone's asking. They want Danny. This is a question for you and I. How many trimmers do we own? That was an actual question in chat.
hair trimmers.
They
No.
didn't specify.
I
would assume
mean,
not.
Yeah, I know what trimmers they're talking about. I mean, I feel
Well,
like you guys
all
should
right,
too.
so I own 4 trimmers.
Oh my
One
god.
of them
3.0?
is for my dog.
No, I think they're talking about the 3.0.
One of them is for my hair. One of them is for my beard, and one of them is other.
The other is etc.
Now we're
Miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous.
now we're done tainting the show.
Hey-o.
Well, this is for
Oh.
both of you guys.
Okay.
This guy was asked a question. Has anyone had any experience with dice apps? And if so, is there a recommended one? I play NIDS, and rolling 90 Devil Gaunt shots takes time with the new Swarm Leader rerolls and exploding sixes. And what I can only assume is
Oh,
a chat
God.
version of
Here, guys,
Warhammer
hold on.
Privilege.
We're gonna get John's. John, do you want a soapbox for this? Because I feel like I'm gonna get one. We're gonna start talking about dice rollers. John's gonna start talking about how much he hates dice rollers.
I really hate dice rollers. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them so much. I don't need a soapbox. I don't like them.
I can just
I
sit
think-
here and talk.
So
I-
when Part of your game. There we go. Perfect. Even better. As we're officially talking, where am I here? Here, yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
As an official statement from this brand, I hate them because part of competitive 40K, and this is my mid-table tryhardness, what we're talking about here,
Dang.
is time management, right? So yeah, if you have a list where you're taking 90 devil gaunts and all this other kind of stuff, part of that is knowing that you have to manage your time and dice rolling in order to maximize that. And if you're cutting corners by using Dice Roller app, that's a competitive advantage that you can. I mean, it would make some people choke. But yeah, it's like a time advantage there. So for me, I don't think it's a fair use of the thing, especially if there's no official Dice Roller app. The one GW had was very finicky. Where like if your dice touched the other dice, like it would change everything. I hate them. No, I refuse to use them. They're trash. But guys, do you have a different opinion that isn't quite so visceral?
Sorry. No, John, I didn't listen to anything you just said. I saw Val almost die on
Yeah.
video.
Yep,
And
it was really hard to keep ranting where I'm in the
Yeah,
corner of my
yes.
screen. I can just see Val dying and
Oh.
choking in the corner.
now I know what COVID looks like.
Well,
I,
no, Val is not infectious. Like
Yeah,
just
yeah.
this whole show.
Yeah, just like me, not
Just the
infectious.
Glacial Geeks laugh.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with dice rollers. You're gonna have to contact the rules committee at LVO to see if any of them are legal for the event.
I saw because I was looking through the Frontline Gaming FAQ because I was trying to see if there's anything I should know with my army.
Uh-huh.
And they did mention that I think if there's less than 60 dice in the roll, they're not able to be used or something like that. It's literally in the FAQ, and they talked about the different apps are legal or not or something like that. So you can check the FAQ to find out if like which one, if they have one or not. It's not. So, but yeah, I mean, also, I mean, half the reason I like to play this game is to roll dice. It's fun, you know, and I understand that if you have like 90 dice, yeah, like just get smaller dice, you know, like the small Chessex ones, you can get 90 in your hand easy enough. So if I
wanted
do
to
like
play a game,
I can do like
against a
70
dice
of
roller,
like the full-sized fill-face dice for a battle report with one hand and a camera in the other, then you can do 90.
No
with two
way.
hands.
You cannot fit 70 fill dice in one hand.
I've done it. There's video of it out there.
I don't believe
he
it.
has very large hands.
Photoshop.
And also,
Oh,
yeah,
hold on. Oh,
no, just
Yeah, you were.
ruined
The servo was muted. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're right. I mean, dice apps are. I mean, whatever. They are what they are. You
like
can,
if I wanted to play against dice apps, I would stay at home and make an Excel spreadsheet of armies and probabilities and just cool. Excel says I lost. Thanks, that was fun.
I mean,
Wow.
I don't think it's that reductive, but I get your point. Like
Val,
I get your point.
Sir Val, are you still muted or are we good to go now?
I think I might be on here.
Yeah.
Yep.
You alive?
Yeah, no, I'm alive. I'm just trying to like gather my wits about me
And
in order to take down this asinine take as hard as I possibly can.
Wow.
I mean, fundamentally, it's a random number generator, is it not, boys? Is
Yeah.
it not?
Oh,
Is it
I'm
not?
sorry.
Yeah.
Are we playing tabletop games or just total Warhammer here? Like that's
Listen, the time
RNG
I saw
guys.
the Glacial Geek roll 70 dice at one time, he wasn't using his hands. That's all I know.
No, that was the glacial.
that was the
That was the Glacial Freak, and that was
Damn it.
on the OnlyFans.
That's why I'm not a host of this show. I don't have that. I don't have those moves. I'm out of here.
You gotta give what the people want.
Yeah.
They want hands-free
Oh,
dice rolling.
the people want an animated tennis racket in my hand that swats the servo valve off the screen.
Wow.
But now, thank you, Airborne for 248. Now I have to go buy an electric fly swatter as a prop to go with this ridiculous book that I have down here too.
Just make sure it's not green like your soda can.
Mm.
Oof.
I thought, like, I didn't think about can color until we got here. I thought, what a better thing to make a joke about Val, one of the driest people I know,
It's true.
who is also Canadian, than Canada Dry.
You should have gotten the Canada
but then-
Dry tonic, which would not have been as tasty, but also would have
Oh.
shown up on screen better.
I'm not drinking trash for a joke, Phil.
This
This
is-
isn't the Glacial Freak channel.
Well, that's why you got to work on your shill game, John. If you're gonna shill, you gotta make it work for screen.
Hey, so to kind of reference the original question in the chat, like if you do need to roll 90 dice and you do need to do it manually, I would suggest breaking it up and doing
Yes.
45 at a time. You would do it a lot faster that way, and then just have your opponent count hits. And yeah, it's going to take up some of your time on the clock, and just remember that. And like that's important. So just be cognizant of how much time you're spending overall, like rolling dice, and maybe don't do it all the time.
Yeah.
And
Also a good thing is to have your dice set. So
Yeah,
like if 90 is the number that you're going to consistently do, have 90 dice. Don't have like 3 of the blocks that adds up to like 100. What is that? 100 and like or 96 or whatever it is. Like don't have a weird number.
In a block of the small
36.
dice.
So that'd be like 100 and 108.
72 for 2 blocks.
Yeah, 108.
108. Yeah.
So don't do that, because then you're sitting there like counting dice all the time. Have 90 dice, so every time you just pick up that same set of dice, you roll them, you go with it, and that saves you the time that you're going to do with that. So
Who was the guy that had that obnoxious dice shaker, which was like the tackle box style thing with all the like dice in it? He's went, the top 4 boxes are what I'm rolling.
God.
Sugar, sugar, sugar.
That was 100%. Treat 'em mean, keep 'em keen. Stephen Pamprine. He had one of the biggest, loudest dice rattles ever. I'm sure that's who you're
Like-
talking about.
I'm pretty sure if he was to use that at LVO, you could hear from like the strip when his shooting phase was up.
no, yeah, that sounds not don't do that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, and good job,
Also,
Curses, for using.
also maybe invest in a dice tray if you're going to have that many dice to keep them contained, because otherwise you don't want like 90 dice to just shoot all over the entire
That's what I like
convention
to do.
hall. That's true. That's when Danny goes to every table and just starts throwing dice across the table. And he's like,
At my
"That's it."
opponent, at their models, like I flick them. Like
Yeah.
it's better for me if I can knock the paint off.
You just throw the dice and you're like, your guy's dead. Like, you threw 3 tables away. I'm like, go verify. And then when he goes, just like move the terrain around. And,
Perfect.
Do the thing like that. Perfect.
Got him.
Great.
That's the way
Awesome.
to- that's the way
Guys,
to win. And if you keep doing
Danny-
that, you'll still be in mid tables.
Says
Lord,
you. I'm
trust
taking
me,
that to the
I'm
top,
here.
Phil.
Yeah.
Dude, my play style is feeder league for the Savannah Bananas. Danny, as we're wrapping up here, what else do you want to assault the Glacial Geek with?
What else do I want to assault? Nothing. Phil's my friend. Why would I want to
Oh.
assault him, dude?
Thanks.
What
I
else
feel
do
like
you
you
want to
did-
say to Phil?
Oh, die in a fire, Phil. I hope I play you round 1.
Oh, cool. We
Wow.
don't want to assault him, but we want to wish he dies in a fire.
Well, he doesn't want to do it. He just wants me dead, but he doesn't
Yeah.
want to do it. He doesn't
No,
want to assault me. He
well,
just
you
wants
know,
me
if I
dead.
have to, I will. Like,
Strong.
I'm not
both
afraid to
of
get my
energy
hands
coming
dirty.
here.
Yeah, I feel like you guys did sell it a bit strong at the beginning when you said you got on like the best content creators on this channel, and then you announced that I was coming. I feel like that's a bait and switch. But
Well, I mean, we're on here too, so like,
Yeah, we're on here too, yeah.
Yeah.
We're the audio slave of video podcasting.
yeah, there we go. There we
Cool.
go. So-
all right, dude, that's high ranking.
No,
They
it
still
came
had
from,
number 1 hit,
I think,
man.
my all-time favorite joke Val's ever told on this show was they were like, why did you hire like Danny and I? It was like, well, I like mob rules, but sometimes you want Rage Against the Machine, but you get audio slave,
Okay.
which I can't argue. I refuse to argue with that.
It was
There we
like
go.
Yeah.
it was like 2 episodes ago and a little longer winded, but essentially, yeah.
That's the Cliff Notes version.
It is, yeah. I ruin jokes. It's what I'm here to do, even ones I write. So, anyway, Phil, while we round out here, why don't you plug your links as fast as you would paint an army painter army with speed paints?
Yeah, so you can find me
That's
if you
sweet.
search just the search for the Glacial Geek on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. It's on there. You'll see my logo is basically my face with a parka and ski goggles, because that made more sense when I was still living in Alaska. Not so much when
Could
I
you
lived down here.
go and get
Savannah.
like a parka and ski goggles right now? Because I feel it's confusing otherwise.
Do you
I do
own
have them.
a parka?
I do. I still own because I had a sweet one when I lived in Alaska because I needed it since the air was constantly making my face hurt. But so I had a sweet jacket, and then you don't throw away like a big old like North Face like parka. So maybe one day I'll see snow again. But yeah, I do have the parka and ski goggles somewhere, but they're buried where I don't need to get to them because I live in Georgia now. So and if I
Time to
ever
take 'em
need
to
it, if
Las
I
Vegas
yeah, I
so
was
people
gonna say
know who you are.
that's true.
Yeah.
If I ever needed that parka down in Georgia, something horribly, horribly has gone wrong with this world, and we're like the day after tomorrow situation again, or something like, or again, we're at the day after tomorrow situation where
Again.
that like, yeah, again,
Yeah.
The sequel.
yeah, the sequel for it. So, but yeah,
Amazing. Yeah. Check out Phil, the Glacial Geek on YouTube. Some great battle reports every Monday. Fun Friday content every Friday.
Yep.
2 videos a week, which guarantee a good time, unless you don't like fun. And then I can't guarantee you anything because you're a
Sure.
jerk.
That's the only thing I
It's
can
true.
guarantee is fun.
Perfect. Phil, thank you so much for coming on. Always
Thank
a
you for
blast
having
to
me.
talk to you.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Always good. The original Power Trio is back.
True, I
Next
miss you guys.
week, miss you awfully, but I got to stay in
Same.
character. Next week, the illustrious Peter the Falcon is going to come on to kind of get us all prepped up and hyped for LVO. And also to cause Danny consternation. And we've promised Val that this time Falcon appears, there will be at least 20% 40K content. And really, you can't ask for any more. So
Did we even hit 20% with our with this episode?
I made no promises
Yeah,
for you.
probably.
Probably.
And I mean, you can ask, but I mean, the delivery is that's a whole other thing.
That's on me. Yeah. But yeah, thank you everyone in the chat who's watching along live. We are live every Monday at 10 p.m. on Twitch. Thank you, producer Val, editor Tyler, Phil, Danny, for everyone. We will see you next Monday as Phil takes us out with a woo.